निराकरणमस्तु तदात्मनि निरचेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Hearty fraternal greetings and good wishes to all the brothers and the sisters. In the morning we were speaking about the Emperor Prithu linking the energies of Kapila to the planet and to the bodies of the planetary beings, by which the number consciousness is established in nature. In the nature of the body, there is number consciousness. In the nature of the earth, there is number consciousness. Number consciousness is universal. In what number a form has to manifest, there is a design relating to it which is presided over by a cosmic intelligence called number consciousness. For example, to start with, that we shall have one head, 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 nose, 2 nostrils, 1 mouth, and one upper jaw, 1 lower jaw, and we have 16 teeth in the upper jaw and 16 teeth in the lower jaw. That we shall have 2 hands, and that each hand shall have 5 fingers. This kind of number for each form is very well established. If you see even the plant, then each time it sprouts, the number of petals that come together. There are plants where 3 leaves come at once. Triangularly they sprout. There are also plants where 4 leaves sprout. And there are flowers which have also the number consciousness, like a flower with 5 petals, like mandara, which we have frequently. 6 petals. Once the number is decided, that pattern continues with all forms. In every atom, how many molecules have to be is also decided. The number consciousness decides, and the form contains this number consciousness. Even before we learn numbers do exist. Because all that is formed in accordance with the number and the related geometric form. The whole creation is filled with the geometric form, meaning regular patterns, and the numbers are written before. So when this number consciousness prevails, normally the formations happen according to that number. That's why there is no surprise when there is a delivery of a baby from the womb of the mother. We know that the baby would have 1 head, 2 hands, 2 legs, and that each leg would have 5 fingers each foot, and each hand has 5 fingers. It's all generally known because the number. When we have flowers like this, the number of petals in relation to this flower, they are uniform with every flower. It's not that one flower of the same category has different number of petals. We may not be observing, but with every form. If you see the Asimam Sanctum which we frequently use in our worship, it always sprouts as 4 petals. Each time there is a sprouting, it is 4 petals. Like that there would be 5 petals, flowers, 6 petals, flowers, 7 petals, flowers. And invariably, anywhere on the planet, that flower would have the same number. Likewise, right from the atom to cosmos, everything is ruled by numbers. And the number decides the potency. The number decides the potency. When we worship Lord Shiva, we worship with a leaf which has 3 leaves, a stem with 3 leaves. It is called Bilva. It carries vibrations of Rudra. When we worship Vishnu, we worship with a leaf flower which we call Tulasi. It has 4 petals. We can show you maybe tomorrow. They are always formed in the same time. For example, the way from out of a mango tree, mango seed, only a mango tree comes and gives out the same shape, the mango. There is a shape consciousness based upon the number consciousness. That's why even in our case we say, if your birthday is, say, 12th or 9th or 18th, whatever it is, then you are ruled by that number. That number is relatable to you and it guides you. It is your guiding number. Numerology is but a partial expression of the work of number consciousness. That's how we are very sure. For example, each time there is a solar system, there would be chiefly 7 planets with the sun as the center. And there can be other planets, but chiefly there are 7. The whole creation, for example, is built with number 7. 7 times 7, 7 planes of existence and 7 subplanes of existence. It doesn't change. A number of creations may happen. The patterns are already set, and in accordance with those patterns, the manifestations happen. That's how there is a pattern which is brought to earth from the consciousness from the number consciousness, which is called Kapila. The consciousness related to number is well set on earth, so that the formations are uniformly in tune with the number. Uniformly in tune with the number. Even in us, there is this number consciousness even without knowing the number. If you offer a child some chocolates in one hand, 4 or 5 chocolates in one hand, and 1 chocolate in another hand, you go to the child who does not yet know the number. They don't know the number, but the number consciousness in them automatically draws them towards that hand where there are more number of chocolates. More number of. That means it's already inbuilt in the system. Inbuilt in the system. So that kind of consciousness is made to manifest upon earth and upon all forms on earth, including the human form, up to the atom which is done. It's a great work. A great work to set the number consciousness in the form and ensure that there is multiplication in terms of that number only. Multiplication in terms of that number. That's why we have numbers for even for planets. We set numbers for number 1 for sun, number 2 for moon, number 3 for Jupiter, number 4 for Mercury, number 5 for Mercury, number 6 for Venus, number 7 for Neptune, number 8 for Saturn, number 9 for Mars, and number 4 is 2 plus 2. It is a very special number. It is the number through which other numbers keep manifesting. It is 2 into 2 and 2 plus 2. There is no other number like 4. It is 2 plus 2 is equal to 2 into 2. No other number has that property. That's why it is considered to be the magical number through which the visibility to invisibility and invisibility to visibility is worked out. So this is how all planets have numbers. They have the related colors and the related forms. The Veda says the whole creation is built with the help of number consciousness and shape consciousness. The shape consciousness is called Vishwakarma, the great architect we call it. The number consciousness is called Kapila and Vishwakarma. So this knowledge of number and associating with the number in any form enables you to unveil the wisdom related to it. Unveil the wisdom relating to it. When you speak of triangle, it is a potential for manifestation. It is not a manifestation. When you speak of number 4 or a square, it is a manifested energy. And when energy is in manifestation, it is 4. When energy is in the potential for manifestation, it is number 3. And what is potential for manifestation is also potential for demanifestation. That's why triangles are used with apex downwards and apex upwards to indicate is the energy in manifestation or is the energy in demanifestation. With respect to Shiva, we use a leaf which has 3 petals, meaning it has the potential. Generally it is not manifest, but it has the potential for manifestation. If it is 4, which we use for Vishnu, it is the one that is descending, incarnating. The second logos is said to be ever ready to descend, and to bring him down, we use a 4-petaled leaf. I'll show you those leaves tomorrow. So these kind of arrangements help us even when we relate to the related energy. To relate to an energy which has the number 5 predominantly, you have to use all things in relation to 5. All things in relation to 5. That's how we have in ritual 5-pointed stars and a hexagon meaning 6 points, a triangle, a square. They are all based on number knowledge. The number knowledge, depending upon what kind of ritual you are doing, what is the number that resides over. So when you are working with Brahman, what could be the number? The number is 0. When you are trying to attain the Brahman, you are attempting to zero in. So therefore, 0 has all potentials from 1 to 9 and 9 to 1. But it's a process of fulfilling by which all is included in it, nothing is excluded. When all is included and nothing is excluded, it is 0. It is 0. Any number of numbers put together, you cannot get 0. By adding numbers, you don't get 0. Do you see that? If you say 7 plus 3, it is 10. 10 is not 0. 0 is 0. 0 cannot be attained by numbers. There is a process by which you can get into 0, you can get out of 0. The numbers have come out of 0, numbers have gone into 0. Creation comes out of it, creation gets back into it. So that's why the number given to the Brahman is Purnam. Purnam means it is seeming nothingness and apparent everything. Seeming nothingness and apparent something. So from out of Purnam, Purnam comes. Meaning from fullness will emerge all things to fulfill, and again it gets back into itself. That's why we invoke that hymn, Purnamada, Purnamida, like anything that you relate to, if you are conscious of the number, it has a significance to you, and that's why when you get to a flight, what is the flight number? That number guides you, it revisits you again and again and again. The flight number, the seat number, the gate number, the immigration counter number. Immigration counter number. Don't try to choose. Don't try to choose. Go by what number is encountered by you. You can understand what numbers are guiding you. Every number guides. There are times when you are guided by number 8 and number 7. When it happens, the guiding number comes very repeatedly to you. If you observe. So that's how there is a number consciousness which carries the potential in relation to any work that you do. If you see the menorah built by the Jewish system as a candle, they have 7 candles. A menorah carries 7 candles. You can't make a menorah with 6 candles. You can't make it. Then it's not menorah. So likewise, that means that system works with number 7. There are systems working with number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 9, number 11. There are different systems guided by different numbers. So a whole volume can be realized when we work with numbers. For example, we are all made up of number 5 as far as palms are concerned. The palm is ruled by 5. It has 5 elements, 5 senses, 5 sense organs, 5 organs of action, and 5 pulsations, 5 sensations. All is 5 in relation to form. And that which descends into form is also 5. That which descends into form is male-female energy called the soul, manifesting through the 3 qualities. Again it is 5. That's how you can learn everything through 5. There is a school that continuously works with 5 and see how everything is 5-4. And there is another school which tries to work with number 4 and see how everything is, how things are built by 4. And 3 and 4 are the basic numbers, triangles and squares. Triangles and squares. So that kind of enquiry with number and the related geometrical form and the color, when you start working, you would gain, you would open vistas of knowledge which would help you in conducting yourself in occultism. Each master of wisdom is guided by a particular number. Every master of wisdom relates to a number and conducts. That's why there are, you see the 7-ray masters. For a cycle of time, all masters are masters of numbers. All numbers. They are not conditioned by numbers. but to be uniform in their functioning, for a cycle of time, they continue to work with one. You cannot have different numbers within a short period for different functioning. For example, we say Master Maurya is working with the sixth ray, isn't it? That's how it is said. That Master Maurya, though a first ray master, is working with the sixth ray to enable establishment of will in the people of devotion, so that they consistently follow one path and then evolve themselves. And 6 is the number with which he is working. The related symbol is a double triangle or a hexagon. So anything relating to 6 is relatable to 6th ray. Likewise, there is a way to work with the number, and that kind of knowledge relating to numbers is established on the planet. It is also established in all forms of the planet. There is a huge knowledge that is built on that basis, which is called Sankhya. Sankhya means the science of numbers. Sankhya means the science of numbers. You have book of numbers, you know. In the West, they built a book of numbers. Kabbalah is also built on the basis of numbers. Numerology, as I said, is built on numbers. So this number consciousness opens doors into the understanding of the secrets of nature. Many magicians, the occultists, they are all masters of numbers. Masters of numbers. That is one dimension which I thought I would present to you. And then we get to yet another activity where the Emperor Prithu, he linked to the cosmic intelligences of wisdom. Cosmic intelligences of wisdom, meaning they are embodiments of wisdom exist in all 7 planes. They are called Vidyadharas. Vidyadharas means they hold the wisdom. There are beings who have transformed themselves to be Vidyadharas, and they keep moving in the sky, in the Akasha, and they exist, and their existence extends to all the 7 planes. In all the 7 planes, in relation to the wisdom of each plane, there are Vidyadharas who are but evolved beings. There are many Vidyadharas who keep moving in the air. And when you gain the vision, you can see groups of those beings moving. Groups of those beings keep moving from place to place, and their presence enables gaining wisdom through appropriate study. And they generally prevail over places of true learning. For example, if we are truly learning something here regularly, then they do visit these places periodically according to the activity that is conducted, and help unfoldment of further wisdom when wisdom is being contemplated. That's why they keep on moving around and around and around. And they are attracted to wisdom workshop. They are attracted to wisdom workshop because their work is to cause unfoldment of wisdom in sincere seekers. Such beings are brought in contact with the earth, and that's why we are able to learn. We are able to learn with the help of our senses to start with. As kids, we learn with the help of the senses. We see something and ask the mummy, "What is this, mummy?" Then the mummy says, "This is cow." If you say, "What is that, mummy?" the mummy says, "It is tree." Isn't it? When you listen some sound, "What is this, mummy?" the mummy says, "It is flute music," or "This is drum music," or "This is violin." Like that, by listening we learn, by seeing we learn, by tasting we learn, isn't it? That's all. These stages we have, and even today we keep learning through senses. Wherever we go, we see, we listen, we touch, we taste, and we smell, and we learn. So, this learning faculty in us is stimulated when senses are at activity. So, senses should be used not for indulgence but for learning. Senses should be used not for indulgence but for learning. Learning, when you learn and adapt to what you have learned, then it causes the change. So the change comes through learning, provided the learning is applied. Therefore, initially it is with the senses we gain the learning, and then we memorize it. Memorize, Frequently when you come across the same moving thing, this is cow. How do we remember that it is cow? Once told, it is remembered, isn't it? If not once, 2 times, if not 2 times, 3 times. In schooling, we are told things very repeatedly. We are told things very repeatedly, only to ensure that everyone learns and retains it. What is learnt has to be retained. So there is memory centers that are in the mind, which would enable us to hold on what is learned. Hold on what is learned. And then to exchange with each other what is learned. What I have learned and what you have learned, they can be exchanged. And my experience with my learning can be exchanged with your experience with your learning. And then there can be a kind of a healthy discussion of varied experience come out of the same situation. A group life like this gives different experiences to different people. The same prayer in the morning also gives different experiences to different persons. So that's why we exchange notes with each other. And it also at a lower level causes discussion. Then the discussion may lead to argument, isn't it? On the basis of what? On the basis of understanding. So to retain what is learnt in the memory, to make an experience, to gain understanding, to share that understanding with others, these are all things that we gain with this quality of intelligences who are called Vidyadharas. If Vidyadharas in you are pleased, you can hold wisdom in such an abundance, and Vidyadharas in you are active, you can hold enormous wisdom. So much wisdom that you carry, it's so much volumes you carry in the form of seeds. With one seed, just like one seed can give out a huge banyan tree, as we saw yesterday. This was a seed, and it has become such a big. So wisdom is held by the wise ones in the form of seeds. If there are seeds, they are in the seed form. You can carry, say, 10, 20 seeds in each pocket, and another 10, 20 seeds in the shirt pocket, pant pocket. So 40 banyan trees you can carry. We cannot carry even one banyan tree, but we can carry the banyan tree in its seed form. Is it not a great job? Not a great. So the more and more you learn, you hold it in the seed form. And one seed, when you express, it becomes a volume. Just a seed. So how many volumes you will print? How many volumes you print? That's why the seers believed in listening to the teaching, but not in printing the teaching or writing the teaching, because it is endless. Endless. And when the learning is very, very, very sharp, the teaching also gets into seed form. Just a seed is given by the teacher, and then the student soaks it in him, and he learns a volume of it. That's why there is a tradition that the teacher speaks in silence, and the students receive the seeds in silence. They soak the seeds, and then they give the seeds to their students, who in turn make them into volumes of wisdom and keep teaching in the world. As you grow into subtler planes, the teaching is more and more simplified, and it is made much more subtle, causal, and just one utterance will bring out a word. Even if we all know the scripture Bhagavad Gita, this Bhagavad Gita is said to have been given to Arjuna by Lord Krishna in the war field. In the war field, the opponents are ready to fight. You are also ready to fight, isn't it? At that time, Arjuna was slightly disturbed. So when Arjuna was slightly disturbed, Krishna said something. Krishna said, who would so much of so many millions of warriors in the field, how much noise would it be? More than 2 persons is already crowd. That's how it is said in English. More than 2 persons, it is already crowd, meaning the noise is there. Understand, 18 squadrons fighting with each other. There is a number to it. It runs into millions of people. Some are on foot, some are on horses, some are on elephants, some are in chariots. Variety have gathered on either side. They are about to fight, and Arjuna felt slightly disturbed. And Krishna said something. And Arjuna got back into balance, and he started conducting the war. What is it that Krishna told Arjuna, and how could it be listened to someone who is distantly placed? Seer Vedavyasa, who was somewhere in Badrinath, in Himalayas. Badrika ashram we call it, that is his abode, his ashram. From that place, the war which is conducted near New Delhi, where the groups have gathered to fight, Krishna said something to Arjuna. He said something to Arjuna. What is it? And there was a blind king to whom the war, what Krishna said to Arjuna, was also narrated by a disciple of Vedavyasa. How normally, with the modern logic that we have, it's all impossible. It's impossible. But in 700 strophas, what is said in a seed form by Krishna to Arjuna is presented by Vedavyasa, and then that is in turn presented by the disciple of Vedavyasa to the blind king who could not see what is happening in the world. So why I am saying this is, that is the beauty of Vidyadharas. These Vidyadharas, meaning embodiments of wisdom, they have different forms. They have their own flights. They have their own aircraft. They keep on moving. They keep on moving all around. They can help us to gain wisdom and to gain subtle wisdom. They can help us to hold the wisdom in seed form. So just when you are blessed with that kind of intelligence, from out of a sentence you can speak thousands. From out of one sentence of this picture, you can cull out, you can milk. Just from one sentence of a master of wisdom, you can milk 1,000 sentences. Why? Because there is Vidyadhara in you, that wisdom being linked to you, and humans can do it. When that happens, there is a possibility for upliftment, elevation, upward movement into states of awareness. That such a facility exists on earth. Such a facility exists on earth is normally not known to the modern mind. We have been to Ramadri yesterday. When we initially went there, we found all plants on the hill slope which carried Rudra vibration. Invariably, all plants are in the Rudra vibration. Rudra. So when you know that this place is filled with the energy of Rudras and you relate to Rudras, it grows with much ease. You can manifest activity with great ease. If you do something else over there, it does not permit. So likewise, we had also, most of you have visited the healing center many times. It was established on 1st January 1995. That healing center was earlier a land where there were cashew trees grown. And the owner of the place was attempting to build many things over there, but nothing could take place. Nothing could take place. He has all the means to raise structures, and he is himself a builder of popularity in the city. He has enough wealth. He wanted to build a school for the children. He could not build. He wanted to build a college for students. He could not build. He wanted to build a hospital there. He could not build. He wanted to build an old age home. He could not build. He could not. So then someone suggested to him to carry any person who knows what kind of vibration is over there. Not all places are amenable for building all kinds of things. That's why when cities are built, they are built according to an order. What should be where? Where should be a graveyard and where should be a temple? We should know. If you build a temple in graveyard, a land which is suitable for graveyard, that temple would not help us. Would not help. And if you build a marketplace in the place of a temple, where the energies are more amenable to worship, if you build a market, a vegetable market, this sense cannot come unless you have the knowledge. That's where to build what. Once it so happened that a person has offered to me a way on the seaside, as early as in early 70s, on the seaside, a person offered to me a newly built house. And he said, I am leaving this place since I know you well, I would offer you at lower cost. You can buy it up and you can pay me in installments. I have trust in it. This is what he said. It's a good proposition. You are young, around 25, 26 years of age, and you are offered on the seaside a house at a cost which is lower than market cost, market value, and he knows, he has so much trust in me that the person said, you can pay me in installments. All can, from all standpoint of logic and commerce and economics, it sounds a good proposal. So I went with Master Ike. Fortunately, Master Ike I was in association with him. So I said, Master, a proposal like this has come. What do you say? And he said, let's go and see the place. Let's go. We went and he saw, which I did not see at that. He said, don't buy here, don't buy here. The person who offers to you, he is offering you with good heart. But this is not the place where you can grow. It's not a place where you can grow. So I said, okay. When he says it, I have immense faith in his wisdom. I told my friend, I'm sorry, I cannot buy this. And I came out of it. Later I asked him what was the reason for him to say that. To say no to a proposal which was economically very profitable, very beneficial. And he said, that land is not a good land. Down under there are bones. Down under the land there are bones. That means some remote times it must have been used for some kind of cremation ground. And once, even to the Voltage Trust, a very grand place on the hill was offered. A very grand place. It is like a semi-palace. He was my client. He offered that you can take it to Voltage Trust. I would give it as a donation. As a donation. A very palatial place. Because you do so much activity, that was in late 70s. I was a bit surprised. It's a huge property, number one. It belongs to royal families, number two. And then the man who presently holds it, he says he would give it as a donation. We don't have to pay. Normally, any organization would jump at it, no? Would jump at it. So then again, I told Master again, this is a proposal coming, what do you say? Let's go and see, he said. So we went and we saw, and the person who offered it as donation to Voltage Trust was also there. The Master said, we don't buy this, we don't take it from you, and I also recommend that you also vacate this place. I also recommend that you vacate this place, don't stay here, he said. And then we came back. Then I asked the Master again, as usual. The Master said, down under there are graves. In this place, 2 persons in 2 different generations were murdered and buried down under the ground. Murdered and buried down under. So then what? So the client who offered this to me, he wanted to know why Master said so. I told him this is what the Master said. And then he went on inquiry and wanted to even dig the place, and he came to know that in the 2 to 3 generations before in the royal family, there was such a fear that some members of the family were killed and they were all buried. It took 30 years to reform that place. It took 30 years to reform that and then eliminate that energy from that place. So, see, every place has its energy. Every place has its energy. So, how do you know about a place? How do you know? when you get into any city, you can already feel the city if you have the wisdom. How do you know when you get into a forest, or when you get into a mountain, or when you go to a riverside? See, many times we visited so many places in so many continents. We have also located the sacred places with much ease, isn't it? We could locate the sacred places with much ease. On what basis? Wisdom. Wisdom as the basis. So this kind of wisdom helps you not only to live well here, but also leave this place. To live and to leave, you need wisdom. Isn't it? So therefore, these Vidyadharas, they are really of great value. Without them, what kind of wisdom we can gain? Their centers are in us, their centers are on the planet. Their centers are on the planet. That's how ashrams can be recognized, which are invisible. So that is one dimension which is brought down to the earth. This is how earth is enriched. The planet Earth, the Mother Earth is enriched with so many things, with sacred mountains, with sacred rivers, with sacred places, and different places with different quality. So, then I come to the ninth calf that the Emperor Prithu has brought ninth one. The eighth one is Vidya Dharas. Vidya Dhara. Vidya. Vidya means wisdom. Dhara means the holder. Holder. The holder of wisdom. Very nice sound, huh? Sri Dhara, we say. Sri Dhara means if you hold Sri, you are called Sri Dhara. Lord Vishnu, the second logo, he said Sri Dhara. Vidya Dhara. Vidya Dhara. So Dhara means the one who holds it. Holds. So Vidya Dharas. Before that I spoke to you about Kapila. The seventh dimension that is brought down is that of Kapila. The eighth dimension that we brought about is Vidyadhara. The ninth one is Kim Purushas. Kim Purushas. This Kim Purusha is again it has a magical dimension. When it speaks, we remain silent. We respect it so that we can listen to what we speak. So Kim Purushas are a category of Devas. Kim Purushas are a category of Devas. These are the ones who can cause appearance and disappear. They represent the passage, we call the Aquarian passage, From invisibility to visibility, from visibility to invisibility, there is a passage. This passage is filled with the intelligences called Kim Purusha. So if we have found a way to link up to them, to Kim Purusha, then you can disappear. That means people can't see you. You are there, but people can't see. See, we have movies about such persons, isn't it? He moves, even drives car, the car seems to be moving driverless. Hollywood movies, Bollywood movies. Very early we had these movies where the persons are not visible but they are in action. They are not visible but they are in action. That we can be invisible is a dimension which is yet to be known to people. That we can, with the help of this class of intelligences, gain to be invisible and visible according to the purpose. When you have gained friendliness with these intelligences, of late, thanks to the writings of Madame Blavatsky and Bailey in the West, and thanks to the seers who wrote in Puranas, we know about the subtle body and the causal body. The subtle body and the causal body. If one gains subtle body, it is not visible to people. And the physical plane, they cannot be seen, but they are there. The disciples of the masters, they gain their subtle body. The masters remain in causal body. Some masters even remain in as dharmakayas or nirmanakayas. Upakaram చేసేయండి మరి. We say Buddha as a dharmakaya. Is there on the planet? Yes. We know that Buddha is on the planet, but do we know where he is? So Buddha is said to be in dharmakaya. Meaning what? He has formed a body of law. It is not visible. So we say Maitreya Divya Dehaya, meaning body of light. You can't see with your naked eye. They are there, but they cannot be seen. Like that, there are so many beings on the planet. There are many invisible helpers on the planet whom we cannot see, but they can see us. When we are in such work, there would be a lot of help coming from the invisible helper. What we see is the visible part. There is the invisible dimension to every visible dimension. There is an invisible dimension to every visible dimension. 3/4 is invisible, 1/4 is visible. 3/4, 3 out of 4 is invisible, 1/4 is visible. And when we are in a visible world relating to visible things, we should also in us carry a bit of, we should carry in our consciousness a bit about the invisibility. When you hold in you the possibility of an invisible situation within a visible situation, you stand a chance to an invisible being. Madame Blavatsky was regularly encountering with invisible beings. Isn't it? And many had that facility to relate to the invisible being. How do you relate to invisible being? We see, as if there is someone in that chair or in that chair. There are people who talk, get information and share it with you. Isn't it? Yes. So don't get crazy to look around like that, but and that chair especially is very vibrant with the Shiva's symbol. It always gives me a feeling that there is a great being sitting over there. It's a feeling, but don't try to strain your eyes looking at it. Such things, they're all possibilities. You have so many stories of invisible beings meeting the visible beings and enabling work happening on the planet in terms of goodwill. We speak of angels. Who are all those angels? They don't have this kind of physical body, but they are there. They are there on the planet. The planetary angels are there, isn't it? How to gain access to them, how they can manifest. In Master E.K. in his own words explained to us that Master Kuthumi, he walked into his house through the wall. Through the wall. And he walked through a cart which was lifted up. It was not put to use, so it was. He walked through the wall, he walked through the cart. Sometimes he gathers atoms and manifests himself. If you gather atoms from the surroundings, manifest, relate to people, and then again dematerialize. These are all the dimensions relating to this class of beings. So, a facility is created on the planet where the invisible can relate to the visible, and the visible can gain relation with the invisible. Is that not a great facility? See, the very story says that Prithu can relate to earth and speak to earth. Isn't it? Can we do that? If we speak to earth, will it respond to you? Will it respond? But Prithu is of a different order. Different order. So he could trace the earth, the soul of the earth, and relate to it, and the earth had to appear to him in the form of a cow. And then they had their own dialogue. And they have established a cooperation. They have established a cooperation. It is Prithu, the earth, and then the incoming energy forming a triangle to manifest different things on the planet, to enrich the planet so that the beings on the planet are benefited. So this is one more dimension. This is the ninth one that is brought around. And this is what, this passage from invisibility to visibility, visibility to invisibility, is what is presided over by this class of intelligences, which we call Kim Purusha. So these Kim Purusha, all siddhas, meaning the saints, they accomplish not the sainthood that is bestowed by religion. Sainthood by their own demonstration. For example, Apollonius of Tyana. Whether we confer sainthood on him or not, it matters not. He is a saint. He could not be imprisoned. They brought him to prison. By the time they came out of the prison, he is already out of the prison. It is all recorded about the events relating to Apollonius of Tyana. Likewise, there are many masters all over the globe who had this facility because they have gained such a cooperation of these Kim Purushas that they can be visible and they can be invisible. And that facility is on earth, and that can be gained by advanced practices of discipleship. And by this what happens? It facilitated siddhas, it facilitated the great beings to transport themselves to any part of the planet, manifest, do work, and then get back. All members of hierarchy, they keep on moving around the planet according to the work, according to the need of the work. They keep on moving around and around and around. And as per demands, they manifest, they conduct the work, and then they get. So such facility is enabled the sons of will, sons of yoga, and sons of fire. These are the three words used by Madame Blavatsky. That's why I keep on using them. They gained facility to relate to this humanity. It is a great facility that the teachers are available and they can guide with the help of these intelligences that are made available on earth. Then again, they have brought the number 10. I will speak of it and then maybe we close it for today. If you remember, I spoke to you about the Lord of North, Kubera, the Lord of North, Kubera, who has given the seventh issue, with the help of which the body could be formed. Isn't it? So the seventh issues are from most subtle to most gross. Most subtle to most gross. In 7 gradations, the light, the awareness and matter is in it. The spiritual matter is in it. Lesser the matter, more is its brilliance. Denser the matter, less is its brilliance. That's how the sperm is the most brilliant tissue. And the bone is the grossest of the tissue. And the brilliance of the sperm relating to each person is reflected by the brilliance of his eyes. The brilliance of his eyes. You can also note it when someone is spoken of as a man of wisdom. What is the light that shines forth through his eyes? What is the light that shines forth through his eyes? Are his eyes attractive? Are his eyes shining? And do they have the glitter that causes a kind of instant attraction towards the light? Such of those eyes represent a high quality of the being. And the sperm relating to each being, it can be measured by the light in the eye. Among all the organs in the body, the only shining thing that we have is the eye. Then the next one is the teeth. Isn't it? We have teeth which can shine, but the shining of the eye is much more than the shining of the teeth. So there are the gradation of tissues are also indicative of the gradation of matter in us. The gradation of tissues are also indicative of gradation of matter in us. The 7 tissues have 7 different gradations, from most subtle to the grossest. So the most subtle is in Sahasrara. The grossest is in Mooladhara. It is from Sahasrara to Mooladhara, the whole formation is done with the help of this intelligence called Kubera, who is the intelligence of North. This is our North, our crown is the North. And through him, what they did is, as they prepared the 7 tissues, one tissue is the blood. The blood. In fact, the tissue blood is the middle thing. Thereafter there is the muscle, the bone, and then the skin. It is the middle one. That's why blood among the 7 tissues carries the yogic instinct in it. Clean blood results in clean health, clean mind, everything clean. And it is the life, it is Om. Om enters into, as I said, in its involutionary process it becomes prana. Pranava to prana. In the morning I spoke of it. Pranava to prana, prana to pulsation, and pulsation causing the circulation and respiration, resulting in circulation of blood. So they have prepared the tissue called the blood, And because of this blood, there is the awakening in the being. The difference between animate and inanimate being is the blood. In the animate being there is blood. In the inanimate being there is no blood. There is the awareness. So in us also there is awareness. But the awakening is only in the animated being. That is because an animated being carries blood in it. Even a mosquito has blood in it, which you know. Because you make best efforts. To put off a mosquito, then you have some blood. So this blood is filled with this magnetic fluid called the life. The blood is the vehicle of the life. You should know that. That's why we supply blood to others to perpetuate life. So therefore, this fourth tissue, namely the blood, in which there is the magnetic dimension of life, which emerges from the head, the center for emergence of life force. If you see the book on white magic, the master gives it. It is from Ajna, which is the center of awareness. There is the spring of the life force, which is the golden thread, and it spreads all over. So this life principle enabled the animation of the beings, and then this has also enables the recognition of each other. Between two inanimate beings, there is no relation. But between two animate beings, there is relation. If we keep this, is this a microphone? Yes. Upon this packet of tissue paper, the tissue paper does not feel that why should it be always on my head. The tissue paper, there is an arrangement here that the microphone is on the packet of tissue paper. The tissue paper does not feel that this microphone is always on my head. And many times I am keeping it on the tissue paper. Otherwise, the microphone, when I come, it is like this. The microphone does not feel, why am I on the wooden plank? Why can't I be having the cushion of being on the tissue paper packet? Such things don't happen because while there are atoms with awareness, there is no flow of blood that gives the kind of animation and relation. That's why relation is on account of presence of blood. That's why when we have a blood relation, the relation is strong. When we have blood relation, the relation is strong. That's why we say blood is thicker than water. Blood is thicker than water. If two brothers are quarreling between them, don't indulge yourself into it, because you would be made a fool later. You would know that you foolishly involved yourself in a family quarrel, because ultimately the blood is thicker between the two brothers. So they come together and they see that you are the man who has created the trouble. There are a number of episodes like that. Never get in between the blood relation, because the blood gives such intimacy to the being. And all intimacy is the work of the heart, which is also a center where the work of blood keeps happening. Circulation of blood, purification of blood, All this is the activity that is coming from the heart. So if two brothers come to you separately complaining about each other, don't be foolish to involve it. If father and son are fighting with each other, don't try to involve. On the contrary, you can tell them, it's better that both of you solve it, don't involve a third person. A wise man says, it's okay, you came to me, I will not involve, but you also don't go to others. Better you sit down and sort out. Because you are by nature closer. By nature, you are much closer than an outsider. Isn't it? So this intimacy between beings is what is arranged. That is what is being said here. If there is no blood, where is the intimacy between one and the other? Where is the relation between one and the other? So that is what is brought into, to start with, preparation of the tissue relating to blood happens in the skull. In the skull. And that's why through the Lord of the North, the tissue relating to blood is milked into our skull. It is also milked onto the planet for life to grow upon it. That is how one more dimension is carried out by the Emperor Prithu, and because of the blood only there is a kind of awakening and sleeping. With a stone there is neither sleeping nor awakening. It is there. It is always in an awakened state, in a different manner. There is no sleep in it. But in a person who has blood, even if it is mosquito, it has its quota of blood, sleep, and its quota of awakening. So there is awakening and sleeping, and these dimensions have come. And then there is also the activity of relating to others and developing relationships. It also came on account of the blood, and a great activity of interrelation has been set on the planet. Interrelation between the animate beings and the animate with the inanimate also. Because we carry as animate beings the bloodstream in us, we relate to everything else on the planet. Not only to humans, we relate to animals, plants, minerals, everything we relate. So this relating dimension emerges from the fourth tissue called blood, which carries in it the mystical force, that which we call life. So that life force entering into the blood causes the relation into the circle. Therefore blood is important. You should not spill blood on the planet. You should not spill blood on the planet. It's a magnetic fluid, killing animals, killing humans, blasting people with so many kinds of ammunition. It's all very diabolic and destructive activity. So this dimension of blood, tomorrow also we will continue. We need time to pause and then get into the prayer for this evening. Tomorrow we will be able to complete by morning session the other dimensions which King Prithu has brought to earth and to the beings on earth to make this earth very beautiful. He has enabled the prophecy of kingdom of God upon earth. He has provided the basis. That is the reason why I thought this story should go into all our groups. Normally these stories are not told even in India. Many people in India also they do not know the intricacies of this story. It is everything relating to the cosmogenesis, and then an important event in the history of the planet, that the descent of Prithu, and then the relation relating the planet to the various intelligences of the cosmos, thereby enabling the beings and the earth to gain the kingdom of God upon it. So that's why just 3 days before you came, it came to me, before I left to Bangalore, no? I said this shall be the topic for us. It is relevant to us because we are interested in cosmogenesis. We are interested to know the wisdom relating to the races. And this is all happened in the third root race, in the second part of the third root race. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you. We have 11 minutes time.